Hi, I'm Tae Kim, and this is the 14th lesson for learning Japanese from scratch. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to introduce a new topic into a conversation by using the topic particle. In the last lesson, we learned how to exchange a simple greeting by asking if the person was well. We also learned that we do not need to specify the subject when it's obvious based on the context, such as when asking about the person you're directly talking to. However, what if we wanted to talk about somebody else not in the conversation? In this case, we would use a topic particle to introduce a new topic into the conversation. For example, what if your friend had a scrappy dog named Batman and you wanted to ask how he was doing? In this case, we would use the topic particle to introduce Batman as a new topic into the conversation. First of all, let's briefly go over what particles are. They are one or more hiragana characters that are attached to the end of a word to sign a grammatical function. As the name suggests, the topic particle is attached to the end of a noun to introduce it as a new topic into the conversation. It is written as ha, but is pronounced wa. Let's use the topic particle to ask how Batman is. First, we take the noun we want to make the topic, Batman, and attach the topic particle to the end. Batman wa? If you remember from the last lesson, the main verb must always come last, so we just end the sentence with the adjective and the implied state of being as before. The sentence then becomes, Batman wa genki? Batman wa genki? The polite state of being is the same as we learned in the last lesson. Batman wa genki desu ka? Batman wa genki desu ka? It is very important to remember that the topic is not the same as what we consider to be the subject in English grammar. Notice that once a new topic is introduced, it will remain the topic, so it does not need to be repeated until the topic is changed. Batman wa genki desu ka? Hai, genki desu. One of the most common mistakes made by beginner Japanese students is to treat the topic particle like the subject in English and repeat it in every sentence. For this next example, we will learn two new words. Watashi, which means me, myself, and I, and inu, which means dog. In this example sentence, the topic is probably not the subject of the sentence. Watashi wa inu desu does not necessarily mean I am a dog. For example, somebody could be asking what kind of animal everybody likes, and you might answer, well, as for me, it's dogs. In order to reinforce the fact that the topic particle is introducing a new topic, you may want to translate it as for so-and-so. Now that we know the topic particle, let's learn some greeting expressions. Good morning is o ha yo or o ha yo uございます for the polite form. Kon ni chi wa means good day and kon ban wa means good evening. These last two expressions are actually an abbreviation of a much longer sentence, how are you today and how are you this evening? That's why the ha at the end is pronounced wa because it's the topic particle. To sum up, here's a simple dialogue between A and B. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Batman wa genki desu ka? Hai, genki desu. In this lesson, we learned how to introduce a new topic into the conversation by using the topic particle. Now that we know how to talk about other people, we will learn how to properly address them in the next lesson. So until then, see you next time.